now that only 8% of churches in the United States are above 250 in attendance. That to me is one of the most remarkable pieces of data. Or another way to look at it, 92% are under 250 in attendance. So when we start looking at the churches across America, across North America in particular, we're seeing that most churches are smaller, at least in a perception of what they used to be. And so a lot of churches are smaller than they've used to be. And you say, well, what has happened? Well, the trends were already taking place. Okay. That's the first thing that we've got to say. The churches in America were already experiencing declining attendance. So that's point number one. Then came the pandemic. The pandemic did not cause the declines, but they exacerbated the declines and they exposed the rate of decline even more. So if your church was declining at an almost imperceptible rate of, say, 1% a year, and then out of the pandemic, you've lost 20 or 30% of your people, that's noticeable. And so the pandemic opened our eyes to, okay, this is what would have been 10 years from now, but it's now. Okay. Right. Then the question is, what happened? Well, we know pretty well what happened. There, if you look at any church, there's a group of core, committed, and then there is the cultural. And the cultural refers to those who are a part of a church in attendance. They may be Christian, but probably in name only. But they want to be identified as a Christian and or a church member. And it may be for cultural reasons in their neighborhood. It may be for business or political reasons. They want to be identified. Now, you're in San Diego, and that would have been a smaller number than, say, Birmingham, Alabama, but still cultural Christianity existed in all places around the United States. What happened is the pandemic gave the cultural Christians, and that's an oxymoron in itself, they gave the cultural Christians permission no longer to identify or attend a church. So you lost that large swath of people who were going for identity purposes or cultural reasons, and those, for the most part, have not returned. There's a second group. The second group are those whose attendance rate declined. Let's say, let's go to your church of 40 in attendance, Marcus, and let's say that you have 40 church members and everybody is there every Sunday. Your attendance is 40. Okay. Right. Let's say that your members decide to start attending every other week. All of a sudden your attendance is 20, but you haven't lost a person. You still have pastoral responsibility for 40, even though only 20 are in attendance. The second major development in the pandemic was commitment declined even among the more committed Christians, and their attendance rate, it may have gone from 3 times a month to 2 a month to 1 a month. That is one of the primary reasons that we're seeing the decline take place.